Alright YouTube, good morning and welcome back to a new video. Guys, I've lived in Russia for 7 years and it's crazy actually when you think about it. I'm just here to tell you guys, like, Russia has changed my life in a lot of good ways and in some bad ways. And in this particular video, or in this video, I'm going to tell you guys how Russia has changed my life updates, what I'm doing in my life right now, or what has happened in my life, because 7 years is a long time. When I came to Russia, I was a boy, but now people can say I am a man. So this is just going to be a life update, 7-year brutally honest review. So what I want you guys to do for me now is to grab your popcorns, grab your snacks. And before you guys think that this is a green screen, this is actually real. Guys, I'm in beautiful city of Kursk. But yeah, without further ado, without wasting much time, let's dive right in. I have divided this video into different segments so that you guys will be able to understand or like follow the order of how I want the video structure to be like. So we're going to start off with my first impressions of Russia and the Russian culture, because guys, that is something that shocks every foreigner whenever they come here, especially if you're from Africa. It's way different, and it was something that actually shocked me too. The biggest shock for me coming here to Russia was the food. Guys, I'm from Nigeria, and in Nigeria we have a variety of food. I'm not saying that Russians don't have a variety of food, jollof rice, all those things. I came into Russia and I realized that I can't just go and buy these things. I mean, I had the money to buy food, but I can't buy food. They didn't have the same ingredients, the same as we have in Nigeria. As someone that barely knew how to cook, I just came here for the first time. People that can cook will be able to find their way around, maybe find some replacements of some spices. Guys, I knew nothing. When I came here, I was only eating pizza, eating shawarma. I was getting fat. The change in food, or the change in the food I was used to, was one of my biggest shocks here. Another cultural shock for me was the language. Guys, in Russia, English is not the official language. Of course, there are a lot of Russians that can speak English, and even now, a lot of more Russians are speaking English than before. So when I was at the passport control in Moscow, I was going to ask a grandmother for help for something, and then she shouted at me, "Hey, bro!" I was like, Jesus Christ, that was my first experience at the airport. But when I came to Russia, I realized it was a whole different thing, and maybe that grandmother was just having a bad day. And another thing I'm sure will shock a lot of Africans is the Russian winter. Guys, the winter, first time seeing snow ever in my life, touching snow in my life. You see it in movies and you be like, what does it feel like? What is it like? When I experienced snow for the first time, I was like, oh, so this is snow. Like, I mean, when you're imagining it, right, it's going to sound very cool. At least for me, that was my reaction. But the first time I ever saw snow, where I felt snow, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a shock because of how cold the winter was. Of course, guys, it gets very cold in winter. So it's not just about the snow. It's about how cold it gets in the winter period. Let me not dwell too much on the snow and talk about how cold it gets here in winter. Guys, I live in Kursk, and the lowest it has ever been is about negative 22 degrees. Guys, that is very cold. That is very cold because you can see, like on pipes, you see that there's a whole line of water that froze on the air. That's to show you how cold it got to make water freeze on air. In Nigeria, it's very hot. I don't think it has ever gotten cold to the point of negative numbers. That's something I want you guys to have in mind, that when you're coming to Russia, everything is extreme. So the winter is very cold and the summer is also very hot. Guys, listen to my next shock, which is smoking is very common here in Russia. Coming from Nigeria, right, a lot of people see smoking as a bad thing, so I'm saying like, oh, why are you smoking, type of thing. But guys, it's very normal here, because first of all, it's very, very cold here in winter. But then again, I've seen people smoke in the hot summer. So I think it's more of like, let's say, a cultural thing. I don't know, you guys can correct me in the comment section, because I don't really know much about this. But all I know is that I see people smoke in the hot summer. And guys, what's even crazy is that I see people smoke with coffee. You're drinking coffee and you're smoking. I don't understand. It's that crazy, actually. One of the other things that shocks me, for example, you can't wear the same shoes you wore outside into people's houses. Like the shoe I'm wearing right now, I can't wear it into people's houses. I didn't tell you guys, I went to medical school here. Guys, this video is going to be a whole life update. So I went to medical school here and I've graduated last year. I'm going to talk more on that later on in the video. In medical school, before you go to classes, you must change your shoes to second shoes. They call it second shoes. If you don't have second shoes, you have to buy bahil. Bahil is just basically shoe covers, those plastic wrap covers for your shoes. This is something I've never seen in Nigeria. I've never seen it. Like, what do you mean I can't wear my shoes into the building? Won't they mop the building, or won't they clean the building? But it actually makes sense. And this is something that I've adopted in my own life too, that you cannot come to my house with shoes, because out of all these shocks when I landed initially, the two hardest for me that have become somewhat normal now are, number one, the language, which is crazy because I never saw myself as someone that wanted to learn the Russian language. So the language and the food. I've gotten to understand some of the Russian spices. Now I can eat food without missing too much of home. Although I don't really get a lot of home foods here, because guys, I can't cook like my sisters, I can't cook like my mother, so I don't have to cook all those things. But now I eat minced meat, you know what I'm saying, gym food, rice, chicken, you know what I'm saying. So guys, you're going to dive into life as an international student here in Russia. Guys, life as an international student coming from Nigeria is very, very different. You know why? There's something that actually like stood out for me the most, or shocked me getting here first, is that in Russia, how the classes are in Russia, for example, in my medical school, the teacher doesn't necessarily teach us everything. You have to study before coming to class. And then when you come to class, the teacher will ask you questions. Oh, Ivan, so what is this? What is that? You know what I'm saying? If you're someone that's very timid, I don't know if you want to actually come to Russia, because a lot of your exams are going to be orally. And that's what I was about to say. That classes, oh my God, you guys can hear the alarm. Damn. So classes here in Russia Oh my God. Wow. Welcome to Russia. So my medical school experience was basically exams almost every day of my life. Because guys, you had literally over 60 exams plus test upon test, majors, classes. Oh my goodness. So all my life in medical school, we spent it, me and my group mates and my course mates and my colleagues, we spent it answering questions orally. As someone that studied in Nigeria, because in Nigeria, the teacher teaches us everything. In Russia, you have to teach yourself everything. It took a huge mindset shift, if you want to call it that, for me to be able to start teaching myself things, because all my life, I've always been taught by teachers. So that's one thing that happened to me in medical school. And you know what? I actually thank God for that, because you know why? That's little thing has given me the ability to talk to people, whoever you are. I don't care if you're the president, if you're the governor, if you're the senator, I'll talk to you. Even right now, I actually film my videos and people are passing and looking at me. Not because I am not shy, I'm actually shy. But answering teachers, answering people in authority have given me that confidence to be able to, like, yes, when they ask me a question, I'll answer confidently. Because another thing I was going to say, guys, in medical school, or in my school, guys, I think that my school is actually a problem. You know why? Some teachers just want to fail you. Anyways, let me not digress. In my medical school, in my school, for you to be able to pass with flying colors, for most teachers, you have to answer confidently. So you can't be doing, madam, I think it's leukemia. You have to answer confidently, like you know your answer. You know, sometimes you have to confidently answer rubbish and just hope. You have to have that confidence, basically. You cannot be timid, because if you're timid, teachers will just give you 3. Because in Russia, the grading system, let me say that quickly. So in Russia, the grading system is from 0 to 5. So 5 is excellent, or call it atlichny or atlichna. Then we have 4, which is harasho. We have 3, which is udobil. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I think it's udo something. And then we have 2, which is fail. So if you get 2 in your exams, or your tests, or your majors, or your class tests, you'll fail your exam. If you get 5, you pass with flying colors. So in order to get 5 and pass with flying colors, you have to answer with confidence that you know what you're talking about. Because when you're not really confident, teachers will not say, oh, okay, this is not confident. I don't know why Russians do this actually. Or okay, I noticed it from my own teachers, my male teachers. The moment they sense like a fear in you, they want to ask you more questions. Let's assume your question is list the posterior muscles of the forearm, and you're answering and you're not confident. You know, the teacher can just decide to say, okay, what are the anterior muscles? Like anterior is forward, posterior is backwards. So they just ask you extra questions. I don't know why they do this, but they do it from time to time. And it's something that you just have to get ready for, because if you're planning to come to Russia and you're planning to come to the medical university, you have to, you know what I'm saying, you have to make your shit, of course. Medicine in Russia is actually 6 years, and I've completed the 6 years of the Lechebnom faculty of the study faculty of medicine. I didn't just graduate only as a medical doctor. I graduated with a skill. And the skill is what you guys are seeing now, a content creation skill, or as a videographer, as a photographer, whatever you want to call it, as a content creator, as a creative director. I graduated as that. And this is very demanding. To be able to do this at the highest level, I have to balance school and balance your medical school. You have to balance medical school and balance your videography or YouTube or whatever. And guys, let me tell you something. I was going to say this. Look at guys, when I went to medical school, guys, I wanted to graduate with the red diploma, because the red diploma is like the excellence mark, like you graduated with the highest degree, highest words. Red diploma just basically means you get a lot of 5s in your exams. But the thing about me, guys, I have a problem. You know my problem? Or I had a problem in medical school. So after my 4th year, when I realized I could start making money in Russia, the drive to get this red diploma went down. Plus, we have a department in my university called the gynecology department. Those that know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this video, you can comment down in the comment section if you can relate to me. They just, you know what I'm saying, they're very interesting. They're very interesting departments. Guys, I'm a very, very smart person, but my smartness did not translate to my red diploma, because I was focusing on how to get the bag while in medical school. So that happened. Your boy is a doctor today, and a videographer, photographer, YouTuber. Some of you might be watching me now, you might be wondering, how are you able to balance school? How are you able to balance working with Russians or working in Russia with your medical school? The truth is that there's no balance. A lot of people want to balance in their life. This is going to be very hard for these 2 skills, or these 2 courses, if you want to call it that, because this is very demanding, and medicine is also very demanding. So what I did in my life was that I used to have periods of locking in and locking out. Basically meaning that whenever I don't have exams, I lock in. Okay, I don't really lock in, but I'm more serious with content or working. And whenever I have exam period, I lock in on exams. So I've locked out of content creation. So that's it. There's no balance, guys. I didn't balance my life. People say, oh, how do you balance the gym? How do you balance your life? Guys, my life is not balanced. Although I was able to do a lot of things or get a lot of things done, I didn't have a balanced life. So there's that. Life in Russia. The good, the bad, and the reality. The cost of living, all these interesting things you guys like to know, because, I mean, you guys deserve to know it. So now, I live in Kursk. And Kursk is not the capital of Russia. The capital of Russia, or Stolica of the very beautiful country of the Russian Federation, is Moscow. And from my little experience, Moscow is the most expensive city to live in, especially when it comes, because like for food, clothing, and shelter. Like these are the basic amenities, right? I think everywhere in Russia, food is literally the same price. So for me, food is priced very good here, in my opinion. For accommodation, this depends on the city you choose to live in. Guys, I live in Kursk. Kursk is not, I wanted to say like a village, but a lot has changed in 7 years. So Kursk is no longer the place I came to 7 years ago. So it's more of a city. I mean, you can see how beautiful my background looks like right now. So a lot has changed in the city, but Kursi is one of those affordable cities where you can get rent. I'm talking about housing because I'm talking about accommodation right now. Your rent can go from 10,000 rubles up until 50,000 rubles. Okay, no, let me speak from a student's perspective, because I don't think any student is paying 50,000 rubles in course for apartments. So let's say from 10,000 to 30,000 rubles, or from 10,000 to 30,000 rubles, and that's about $250, $300 maximum or upper limits. Guys, that's actually very, very affordable compared to Moscow, where you find apartments for about 60,000 rubles upwards. That means the lower limit is 60,000 rubles in Moscow. So it's actually crazy when you think about it. So the reality of living in Russia is that Russia is, how do I say it now? Because a lot of people also come to Russia and still struggle. Not because they want to struggle, but because the reality is that it's hard for foreigners to actually get jobs here. Maybe you might have heard from people that you can get jobs here in Russia, but from my little experience, it's wanting to get a job, but can that job pay your bills? So from what I've learned in my little experience, 7 years experience living in Russia, jobs will not get it done for you, because majority of you watching this video right now will be students. And if you're a student, you can't be leaving school to go and work, because if you get expelled, they're sending you back to your country. So you have to go to classes to be able to get the bag while you're in school. You have to learn skills. I've said it time and time again. I've said it 100 times. Guys, this is the reality. It's the reality of living in Russia. You can't come, like, it's the reality of living in Russia as a student, as a foreigner student. You can't work like America or Canada. I don't know how they did it there, but here in Russia, you can work good jobs that will give you good amount of money or good hours to be able to sponsor your life here, in my opinion. You have to, everybody I know that's doing it big are using skills or business. But how many students are actually doing business here? No, I don't think business is part of it. Skills. And what skills? Let me just give you guys a brief rundown. But you can go and check out this video here where I listed the top skills or the essential skills that students or foreigners must learn before coming to Russia to be able to have a competitive edge, or to be able to have the means to be able to make money while you're studying. Number one, fast cutting or hair braiding, beauty niche for the ladies, hair making, braids, makeup under one umbrella. Number two, what I'm doing right now, photography and videography. Number three, teaching the Russian language. Teaching English. So of course, if you come here, you're not going to have an understanding of the Russian language. A lot of you won't have that. But I think a lot of people actually have good accents. You can speak English. You can teach Russians and make money on the side. So these are the things you should have in mind. I don't want to ramble too much. I don't want to make this particular segment too long. So you can go and check out that video to see the detailed breakdown of all the skills I listed in that particular video. I have to pull up my notes so I don't forget any important points that I want to tell you guys in this particular video. So another thing is the public transport. I didn't even mention that, guys. Here in Russia, they have student cards. So if you're a student, you can be able to utilize that as obviously student card for student transport. But in Russia, in Kurs, for example, bus fare cost, guys, let me not ramble too much. I have a video titled "The Cost of Living in Russia in 2025." Guys, I don't want to make this video too long, so start adding all these videos to your watch later. Safety, guys, look at me. I'm actually here filming as a black man, filming in the beautiful city, and no police, nobody has harassed me. You can see a lot of people have been passing me since. Nobody has harassed me. Nobody has looked at me like, who's this N-word? You know what I'm saying? Racism in Russia is, I think it's overestimated. Is that the word to use? It's not as people are making it to seem. That's my point. I've lived here for 7 years, guys. I can count the racism on my right hand. How many times I've experienced racism? It means that, of course, there are people that will feel this prejudice against people from other countries, but it has never gotten to the point where it will harm my life. It has never gotten to the point where they're going to choose Russians over me or prefer Russians. Guys, my life is so crazy. You know why? Guys, there's no reason why Russians should leave their own fellow Russians and be working with a black guy that is from, you see, one man is looking at me and smiling. There's no reason why Russians should leave their fellow Russians and working with a black guy that is not from their country. But they have done this time and over again. It means that the racism, I just feel like, is shot out of proportion. Like, it's not as people are making it to seem. Like, of course, there's racism, but it's not what people are making it seem. So, in my opinion, guys, this is a personal perspective. So, take it with a grain of salt. Because some people will be like, oh yes, I was racially, something happened to me racially. I'm sorry. The bureaucracy, guys, bureaucracy in Russia is crazy. You're going to sign your life away. Everything you must sign. I didn't want to tell you guys, in medical school, guys, we used to do HIV tests every single year. From what I heard, if you have HIV in this country, they're sending you back to your country. You know what I'm saying? Guys, to do this test, you have to sign paper upon paper. So apply for, guys, I applied for my PR. Guys, this is a live update. Guys, I'm now a permanent resident of the Russian Federation. I didn't want to tell you guys. Guys, first of all, tell me congratulations in the comment section, because after this is the next level is the passport. Your boy is a permanent resident of the Russian Federation, or they call it the Vid na Jitenstvo. Anyways, let me not digress. To be able to get any document, go to the bank, to fill your school, whatever, to what else, to do test, HIV, hospital, this, that, You're going to fill paper upon paper, guys. It's annoying. It's crazy. Like, why do you have to sign 100 times for just one small procedure? So the bureaucracy, I just want you guys to come with an open mind and come ready, come prepared, because you're going to sign and sign and sign your life away, because that's what they do very much here in the beautiful country. Guys, it leads me to my next segment, which is my life update, guys. A lot has happened in my life in 6 years being here. But I don't want to really focus on my first to third year being here or first to fifth year being here, because I already made videos about that. I'm talking from my 5th year to my 6th, 7th year here in Russia. Your boy has changed. I've changed from the guy I used to be. There was a time I couldn't speak to the camera like this. I know some of you might come in the comment section and tell me, oh, Iwan, you're speaking too fast. I'm so sorry, guys. Whenever I enter my flow state, the boy just begins to ramble. But sometimes I like to catch myself to be able to speak clearly and speak more softly and more calmly. You know what I'm saying? I had to write it down because I don't want to forget everything. So first of all, the biggest life update for me was that I achieved the goal why I came to Russia. I came here to study medicine, and your boy has graduated as a medical doctor today. Somebody say hallelujah in the comment section. Another thing that's happened in my life, major thing that happened in my life, is that I got my Russian permanent residency. It means that I have some privileges. I have some very interesting privileges that a normal person with a normal foreign passport might not have. And after this, I'm going to be able to get the passport, which is very, very chef's kiss. After graduating, guys, I decided to do the internship, right? So after doing this internship, because the internship is an unpaid internship, so we pay the universities to give us internship. I don't know, that's actually crazy, but it is what it is. So while I was working at this internship, while I was working at the hospital, that me and my friends were working at the hospital, as time went on, I realized that this internship does not align with my goals for my future, like the goals I have for my future. And I'm going to take it like a personal responsibility because I made a mistake. I didn't do my research. I didn't ask the right questions. So I quit. I basically quit the internship. I quit the internship because it was not going to be aligned with my goals in terms of even being able to practice as a doctor here in Russia. But a lot has happened. One good thing about life, or one good thing humans should have in life, is reflection. To be able to look back and be like, okay, did I make the right decision? Did I make the wrong decision? Where can I correct my mistakes? Where can I correct my errors? And by God's grace, I've been able to do some calculations in my life and to see that some of my decisions were very, very bad decisions, of course. Some are very good decisions. And a lot of changes are going to be coming in the near future. But I'm just excited for the future because I might be going back to medicine. The spark came back. You know why the spark came back? Guys, something happened to me that I never thought was going to happen to me. Your boy had a girlfriend or has a girlfriend. Somebody shout hallelujah in the comment section. Здравствуйте. That's спасибо. Alright, so guys, I was gonna say that this is why is everyone looking at me and taking pictures of me. Oh god. So I was gonna say that, guys, your boy fell in love. Guys, your boy caught feelings for the very interesting Kele. Guys, I've changed. That's what I can say. That's a very, very huge life update because, guys, I never saw myself as someone that will get into a relationship because, guys, my mind is very weird. My mind works in a very weird way. Before I had a girlfriend, I get easily annoyed by people. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to have someone that will have to be telling things, or not telling things, but like I used to hear my friends or some people talk about girlfriends and their relationships and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not about that life. I'm not about that relationship headache, please. But now, guys, I now have a girlfriend. And of course, it's going to come with the good times and the very interesting times. That's one of the best things that Russia has actually done for me. Not just making me become a better person, not just making me learn a new language, not just making me become a better individual in general. It helped me to find the love of my life. Guys, all I just want to say is thank you, Russia. So yeah, your boy fell in love. Another thing that happened to me, guys. Wait, let me look at my notes, please. You know what's crazy actually? If I had left Russia, guys, I wouldn't have met my girl. Look at, guys, life is weird. Like, whenever I look at my life, right, I used to think that my life is like a movie because there's some events that happen. I'm like, if you're watching this and you know me personally, just imagine this, for example. Just imagine this, okay? Just quick imagination. If Iwan never came to Russia, what would the impacts be? I'm not trying to say that I've made a lot of impacts in Russia, but whenever I think about it, like, if I didn't come to Russia, a lot of things it's weird. It's very weird. It's very weird. You know, the kind of thing where someone travels back in time to go and change one thing in the past, and the whole what's the word? The whole present just changes. I'm like, I mean, if I never came to Russia, I'm making this video right now. So it's actually crazy. It's just crazy how my life has just turned out. I mean, I'm going to make more videos in the future going into detail about this. The last big, huge update is that, guys, I came here to Russia with 0 subscribers, about 10 subscribers or so. And now today, your boy's channel blew up. It blew up, and I have a video that has up to 160,000 views. Guys, that's crazy. I have 5,000. Brilliant. Everybody's telling me, hey, let me show you guys. Oh my god, guys. Alright, so what do I want to say? So my video blew up because I know some of you might be thinking I'm lying, that people are not looking at me. I had to actually film that one for you guys. My channel blew up. Okay, not my channel, my videos have blown up. And I've seen that people like to see my life in Russia. People like to see this in Russia. Of course, I might not be where I want to be in terms of my content creation. Like, I feel like, I might be wrong. I feel like my content deserves more attention than it gets. I just thank God, first of all, for the opportunity of being in Russia. It has changed my life. It has shown me that I can make something out of nothing. Guys, because I'm not the only person living in Russia. I'm not the only black guy living in Russia. By God's grace, I've been able to use the fact that I'm in Russia to change my own life. Like, I'm making content like this. Not everybody makes content about their life in Russia. A lot of people have very interesting lives. They don't make content about their life. Guys, me, I don't feel like my life is very interesting. I know some people are like, oh my God, this guy, you have a very, very interesting life. No, my life is not as interesting as I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to be traveling, I want to be going, you know what I'm saying? I want to give you guys lifestyle shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just sad that whenever I see people that have very interesting lives, they're not hopping on the 2025 oil. You know, there was a time where oil or Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin is the word. There was a time people were saying buy Bitcoin. Today, Bitcoin is about, you know what I'm saying? That's the same way I see content creation in 2025. Now is the best time to get into content creation. And it's just crazy that a lot of people that live unique lives don't want to document their life. For some of you that really love my videos, guys, I'm just living my life. I'm not pretending, I'm not faking, I'm not saying, oh guys, come to me on my day of my life working with Russians. Guys, as I work with Russians, I just document it. My point here is that I'm grateful for Russia. I'm grateful for Russia because this is an opportunity I would not otherwise get if I was not in Russia. Or there are opportunities I would have not otherwise gotten if I was not in Russia. And it's just crazy. This is just the beginning, guys. So if this is the first time you're seeing me on your screens, actually, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe because I want you guys to subscribe to my channel and get me to 10K subscribers before the end of September. Let us see if we can do that. And yeah, you know what's actually so crazy about my life here in Russia? Family wants the best for all of us. You know what I'm saying? But there's also the fact where some people might not understand what you are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, my sister can come and tell me, Iwan, I want to own this business in the future. I'm not in her mind. I cannot understand what she's talking about. So from a place of love, I might be like, okay, well, don't you think that it might be like this? Don't you think that this is a better option? So what my point with this point is that a lot of people don't understand why I've chosen to be in Russia, despite having a very high value skill. This skill, if I was in America, if I was in Canada, guys, I would be making $10,000, $50,000, being a wedding videographer. That's what I'm saying. I will be making bank. But there's a reason why I have decided to stay back in Russia, despite knowing that I can make more money. It might sound very counterintuitive, or it might sound very contradicting. Because, guys, me, I like money. I like money. So I love money, guys. I love money. I love lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But I've come to a point in my life where everything's not about money. And I just feel like if I leave Russia, it's going to be the biggest mistake ever. I just feel that in my mind. People tell me, Iwan, leave Russia. This one, go to Canada. I just tell them that, guys, first of all, guys, let me even say this now. I didn't come to this life to be moving from country to another country. So my parents brought me to Russia. So I'm going to stay in Russia. If they took me to Canada, I'll stay in Canada. If they took me to the United States, I'll stay in the United States. For now, let me just draw the curtains close on this particular point. For now, I see myself being in Russia at least 7 years, at least 7 years. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be in Russia till the day I leave the earth, but I see myself in Russia for a long time. At least until I master this language, guys. I need to start лучше in speaking the Russian language. Потому что очень как классный язык для меня и очень как у меня много как I have a lot of thoughts in my mind right now, and it's just very like I just love the Russian language and I want to learn it. Because I don't know, I just want to learn it and I love Russia. Basically, I love Russia, guys. I'm sure you already know by now because you can look at my channel. All my videos are about Russia. Looking back to 7 years of my life, I'm going to answer the final question. Was it worth it? Because I've learned a lot of lessons, a lot of things have happened to me, but that's not what this video is for. This video is not for recounting the bad things that have happened to me, although I was going to say that I was going to be real, but I just feel like, let me just keep the video lighthearted, you know what I'm saying? A time for that's going to come. Do I regret my decision staying back in Russia? Or do I regret even coming to Russia to study in the first place? Guys, it was worth it. It was worth it. And if I go back in time, I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to change any single thing. I'm going to come to Russia and I'm going to study medicine, sorry. I'm going to graduate because I don't see how better my life would have been. Because guys, let me say it now. Guys, I'm not a millionaire in dollars yet. I know that a lot of people my age are making thousands of dollars on the internet. I know that for sure. But also I know that as someone that creates content on the internet, I know how difficult it is to actually get there. So I respect them. So like my point is that like you're all going to get there. That's my point. You're all going to get there. Why am I rushing to get to a destination I'm eventually going to get to? I'm a young man. Guys, I'm a very young man. I know some of you might think that I'm one. I don't think you guys think. I'm not 30 years old. You're all going to make it. And I believe this strongly. That's why I don't like to rush my life. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying? Like people say, Iwan, leave Russia. You make more money in Canada. You make more money in the United States. You make more money in UK. When I'm like, why am I rushing to make more money? At what cost? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just feel like life is not like that. I don't want to sound very philosophical, very motivational. I'm not making the video too long because I'm sure it's very, very long right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. These are my honest thoughts, guys. These are my honestly brutal, Jesus Christ, English. This was my honest, brutal, this was my brutally honest review of Russia. Russia is very beautiful. Russia is very safe for black people because if it was not safe, I would not be here. In fact, in my opinion, guys, Russia is even much more safe than America. Because guys, nobody's going to come out here and just shoot me. Like, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. I can, because like, in America, you can just be minding your business. I'm not saying America is not safe. America is also safe, but the fact that they have the Second Amendment, right? I think the Second Amendment where you can own guns. That alone is just a no-no for me. I don't want to live my life. I don't want to risk my life. Пожалуйста, нет, спасибо. I don't see there's no racism in Russia, but I'm not going to say it as racism. What I want to say is that in every country there are good people and there are bad people. And my prayer for you is that you always meet bad. No, sorry. You always meet good people in your life if you plan to come to Russia or if you come to Russia, because meeting the right people, meeting good people, meeting the right people in Russia can change your life forever. And I pray and wish that for each and every one of you watching this video. I don't want to make it too long. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this next video where I went to Nizhny Novgorod and went to one of the most beautiful cities in Russia for the first time. So go check that out after this video. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. It's your boy DTP signing out. Stay safe and have a good one. Bye bye.